This review looks at 3 versions of the Volkswagen T5 Transporter. Model 88801 is in the colours of Eurovia, which is part of the French Avanci group, and 88802 is in the colours of Granvia, which is also part of the Avanci group. Model 88865 is in an orange colour. They all come in boxes which are protected with an outer cardboard sleeve, but depending on the model, the inner box designs are different. So the question arises, which one shall we open first? How about a bit of Granvia? Or would you prefer to start with a Eurovia? Okay, fair enough, we'll go for the Granvia. And if we pull out the insides, we see that it's a branded box, and the Volkswagen T5 is sitting inside. But in fact, it's not really sitting inside the box. And that's because if you open it up, it's actually sitting inside its own little plastic display case. And that's why there was an outer cardboard wrapping to protect it. But before you'd want to display the model in its display case, there is a piece of protective packaging. And you need to open up the top in order to remove it. It's not really clear why the extra packaging is there though, because the T5 is firmly fixed to the base. But once it's out, there's no assembly to do because this model is complete out of the box. The T5 is a front-wheel drive van, so there's no transmission, but the floor pan and rear axle are modelled reasonably well. The tyres have the same tread pattern front and rear, but the wheels are quite nicely detailed. At the front, the Volkswagen logo is there and there's a realistic number plate. A nice little touch on the model is the door handles, which are formed in the casting and highlighted with paint. At the rear, the sides are nicely cast and the lights have plastic lenses. Inside the load area there's a plastic toolbox and the support frame is plastic too. The orange version of the T5 has an NZG number plate and it's a smart looking model. The yellow Granvia version of the model is perhaps the nicest looking of all. And in case you were wondering, Granvia is the name of the concession company which operates the R1 motorway in Slovakia. Well, we would really like to give the Volkswagen a test drive on the Cranes Etc test track, but before we can do that we need to set it free from its mountings. It's secured to the base by 2 screws and they're very tightly done up, so it's a bit of a test to get them undone, but once they're released you can pull the base away and then the T5 is ready to roll. It drives quite nicely in a little bit of test motorway that we have constructed here. And if we pick it up we can see that the rear wheels are joined to a common axle so they spin together. And at the front there's working steering. The steering's good because it does have a nice range of movement, so the van does a good job of posing well and turning realistically. There are no other working features on the model, so let's move along to the genuine imitation nothing like real life test. And here we've lined up all of our transporters and we're going to use them to transport an excavator. Now you might think this looks a little bit unusual. Well, there's no fooling you, is there, because not only is it unusual, it's also completely ridiculous. It can only be that the people who have planned these kind of tests have obviously escaped from the asylum. This is a nice utility vehicle and it looks good in the limited edition colours of Granvia and Eurovia. It would have been nicer if it had had more working features, but as it is, it comes with a display case and it's easy to recommend.